What's going on, everybody? This is Richard with the Hunter-Gatherer Society. I am out with, of course, my faithful partner Dozer. And after a couple weeks of sadly being homebound and sometimes bedridden with some back issues, I am back up and running to, I would say, 90%. So we are finally getting some rain, and I decided to get out today and do a little walking. It's getting hot. And we just got a rain here about 20 minutes ago, so the humidity is starting to kick in. So we're going to take it kind of slow today, but we're just going to go out and see what we can find. And just a good excuse. It's Saturday morning. Get out and enjoy the outdoors, and might even try doing a little fishing today. But for now, we're going to see if this rain brought out the mushrooms. So we're going to hit the trail, and I'll see you in a few minutes. Cocoa plums. Not ready yet. It's going to be a little while for them. But those are cocoa plums. I look forward to them ripening. They're a nice little treat in the summertime. I tell you what, it is getting toasty. Dozer, say hi. Hey guys. All right. He says, who? Say hi to who? Man, I'll tell you what though, it is turning into a beautiful day. There are clouds around, and we're going to get some more rain yet today, but for now we got a little bit of a break, and heading out. There we go. Passion flower. We got some passion fruit in there. And we've got some ripe ones. If you look down in here, let me back this off a little bit. You can see the ripe passion fruit. Let me see if I can get in there. Get one. Oh, there's a nice one back there. Sorry about that. Ah, there we go. Yeah, not bad. The redder they are, the better they are. All right, I had to step out of the out of the sun. That sun is getting hot. But all right, so there is our passion fruit. Now these are different than the passion fruit that you probably would know. There is no meat on the actual husk itself. So you pull this shell off. I don't know if you can see this here. I call them the brains. They kind of look like brains a little. But there's little seeds inside here. Yummy. So again, no meat on the flesh. Just the seeds. The seeds are crunchy and kind of sour, but on the outside there's like a film on the seeds. You all right, Doze? And that is super sweet. And that's the part that you want. So you're not going to get a meal out of that. But along the trail, it's a fun little treat. It reminds me of honeysuckles when I was a kid. You know, again, you could eat a dozen of those and you're not going to fill up. But, you know, you get this little sweet flavor to it. And it was a nice little hiking treat as a kid. That's what it reminds me of here. So they're always fun to find. I will take them home and I'll just plop them in the freezer, wash them up really good, put them in the freezer, and then let them seeds freeze. And then in the evenings I can take them out as a little bit of a treat. So that's it's kind of fun. Again, you're not going to get a meal out of them, but it's kind of fun. So again, that's passion flower. We'll just go back to our mushroom hunt. We'll get back on the trail. You know, before we hit the trail, I got into this shade here. That's where I did the last little piece because it was so doggone hot out there in the sun that I thought, I'm going to get in here and film. This is a nice little shade area. Nice little bench there for sitting. We oftentimes will hydrate here. I don't normally find any mushrooms along here, but I have found them down along here. Not seeing anything today. They'll run right along here if I do find them. There's something. interesting. Double. Not sure what he is. Smells good. Smells very mushroomy. I might take some photos of that one. Bring it back and dig out the books. Do a little research. But for today, we'll leave him. Find anything, bud? Find anything? No? Oh, hey, there we go. Oh, there we go. Man, I can't believe I saw that. Do you guys see this? Do you see it? Oh, there's two of them. I can't believe I spotted this. Not sure if that big one is going to be wormy or not. Those are beautiful. Oh, here we go. Here we go. These are just starting to pop. So that's interesting. My guess would be that's the same strain of mushroom that I find in that other spot. It's just further along here. So that mycelium must run all the way along this old, there's an old fence along here. You can see, I don't know if you can see that, down in there's some old fence. This at one point was probably some cow pasture. Let me turn the camera around, I'll be right back with you. Alright, somewhere in here is my handy dandy pocket knife. And again, you guys know, I carry them annoying plastic bags. I know a lot of people don't like doing that. But man, I'll tell you what, I've been doing this for years and I love it. Now, if I'm going to be out for a long time, that I'm not going to carry these because I don't like them in plastic for a long time, especially in the heat. But this is just a short hike today, so they won't be in this as long and they'll be in the backpack. Oh man, this is pretty. Ah, giant centipede on that one. Oh, very little bug action. Let me take this little nub. I'll bring this over for you to see. And also get those other little ones. So you can see here, this is a blue staining bolete. Kind of a rusty colored cap. I have harvested these before. These are edible. And of course, you guys know me. I am struggling for that scientific name, and they don't really have a common name. Rube starts with an R. I put them on the website before, but you can see they're turning blue already. They've got the rust-colored cap, the yellow spores, and this one. You talk about perfect eating size. Man, that is awesome. Man. Two more little guys. And I cut them. You can see right away the stem turns blue. Now, I see a lot of posts recently. Let me back that up here. Not that you guys really care if you see me or not. I want to see the mushrooms. I saw a lot of posts recently about where to start with edible mushrooms. And that's a really good question. You know, my daughter and I, again, I am not an expert. So I get emails, stuff, people wanting me to do classes or whatnot. I'm not an expert. I'm a guy who loves to forage mushrooms, wild foods. Really what I love is learning about it. I'm going to pick the camera up. Sorry for the shake, guys, but my old knees, not loving that position. And so, sorry, I'm getting sweaty. I love being out in the woods. I love foraging, and I love learning about this. So in Minnesota, I had gotten to know quite a bit of the wildlife there, especially the mushrooms. Then we moved to Alaska, and Alaska was all brand new. Some similar mushrooms, but a lot of different mushrooms, and a lot of different, some same plants, some different plants, but a lot different environment to find them in. So that was a learning curve. Now we're in Florida, and again, all new mushrooms, all new plants. A lot of the plants I'm comfortable with aren't here, so I'm learning this as I go. So as I see these posts about where do I start, what do I learn first, the best advice I can give on that is what my daughter and I did. We identified 2 or 3 easily identifiable mushrooms and easily identifiable plants. And we started with those. So when we went hiking or foraging, that's what we were looking for. In Minnesota, it was chicken of the woods, and of course morels, which are big up there, and then oyster mushrooms, which are easily identifiable. Down here in Florida, these boletes are something that for us are easily identifiable. Now there's a lot of boletes, and they're a level 2 mushroom, really. I haven't really found any that are poisonous. I've found a lot that are really nasty tasting, but not necessarily poisonous. But they're definitely a level 2 mushroom. But you can start with them. Just be very careful. And the trick with it is use your resources. I have several books that I use, and I'll do spore prints. I'll put posts on forums and ask what people think they are. I don't use that as a determining factor. What I do is use that to guide me in a direction, and then I'll use my books and resources to further delve into it and then identify what it is. And that's really the key. You know, don't worry about it, and start with something easy, something that doesn't have a lot of lookalikes, and go from there. You know, there are no other fruits like that passion fruit here. So that's my advice. So I've got what I came here for. I'm going to go look for some more. We're going to get back on the trail. Thinking maybe it's going to rain here in a little bit, but we'll see. But we're going to get back on the trail and stick with it until it washes us away. Thanks for coming along, and we'll see you back on the trail. All right, guys, so just getting my bag here. I actually just turned the camera off after saying I was going to get back on the trail. But then I had a thought. I go, why don't I look around and see if there's anything more? I didn't see anything else in here. But it's amazing how easy it is to pass things up. So let me show you what, just out of the corner of my eye, I caught. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 within 3 feet of me. So I'm going to give these a look over, take what I think is collectible before I do what I said and get back on the trail. But that is the importance of just taking a moment and looking around. See you in a minute. Man, these are just beautiful, guys. Now, I've mentioned bugs before, checking them out. Look at that stem. You can see the little holes in there. That means the bugs have gotten into the stem. Now, if you cut that off, there's less holes as we get farther up. And if we slice in, you can look at the meat of the mushroom. Now, if there's bugs in there, you're going to see little lines. You're going to see little holes. This one, like the others, is nice and clean. Ooh, I got into some pricklies. So these are really clean. I ended up finding a couple more, so I think I'm around 10 in this little area. I'm not going to take them all. I'll take some of the smaller ones. I'll leave some of the bigger ones so they can spore out, and this patch can continue to grow, which is important because I want to harvest it again. So don't take them all. Selective harvest. I'm going to get back to work. All right, Doze, let's get back on the trail. No, leave it. Leave it. Loves his sticks. All right, back on the trail. That was a great little stop. Man, we got some shade. It rained for a few minutes. We got out of that. You can see it's kind of depending on the cloud. Oh yeah, We ended up finding 10, 11, 12, 13, I would say somewhere a dozen or more mushrooms back in there. We took a nice little batch, and looking forward to having those for lunch. Now the boletes, I don't think you can freeze those. With those, I'll slice them up, I'll put them on the dehydrator, and you can rehydrate those and use them for soups and stews. They work really well for that. I mean, obviously, like anything, the best is when they're fresh, but that's not always possible. So it's always nice to get enough to put aside in a jar and save them for later. They're a nice addition to the pantry if you've got wild edibles that are saved, which I usually do. Although I am out now with no rain recently. I haven't had the opportunity to really restock my wild pantry. So as the rains are just starting, and I think they're supposed to come in this next week, I hope to get out a little bit more, especially now that my back is feeling better, because that sure does put a damper on things. I was actually bedridden for a few days, so it doesn't make for easy foraging. But I wanted to get out today. I was going to do some work at home, but we have had a spotty rain every day now. Well, I shouldn't say every day. I would say at least every other day. And so I kind of had a feeling now was the time to get out, and some of those were pretty good size. So I'm glad we did get out today. Now this spot always looks good to me, but I've never actually found anything underneath here. And it looks like today will be no different. Oh, you want to go swimming, don't you? Want to go swimming? Oh my God! Hey, dudes, you want to swim? Yeah, do ya? Let's go. Wait, you gotta wait so I can check for gators. Hold on. Another cocoa plum bush. That's a young one. No fruit on that one. Probably a little too young. Come here. Let's do a gator check. All right, go ahead. Well, I'm not coming in. Yeah. Whew. Oh, yeah. Don't shake by me. Oh, he's sharing. Yeah. Are you done? Feel better? Oh yeah, life is good. All right, let's go. Let's go find us some mushrooms. He loves to splash around. All right, I'm gonna get back on the trail here, guys. I'll bring you back in a few. Don't run over the mushrooms. Not many. Somebody's just singing away at us up there. I don't know where he is. Ooh, that sun's back out and it's getting toasty again. Might be hunting primarily shady areas today. What is that? Oh, that's just a tree nub. I saw that from the distance and thought maybe we had something there. Check the other side of the trail. Man, it's amazing. That one spot was just loaded with them. And since then, haven't seen much. Apologize if while I'm filming this today, guys, I have kind of shaky hands. Like I said, I've been bedridden, back issues. I can feel the strain of the first outing today. But regardless, it feels good to be out. It's been too long. Let's go check this tree over here. Now the truth is, you never know where you're going to find them. I do find them underneath these shade trees quite often, especially during the real brutal heat of the summer after a good rain. They're not paying off for me today. Oh, wait, here we go. Oh, look at there. Did you guys see that? So they're on the outer edge of it there. There you go. That looks like the same species. Right there, just starting. Let's look and see if there's any more around. That's all I see in this little area. I think at least a couple of those are going into my bag. Handy dandy pocket knife. Uh-oh. Never want to drop them. Same species. Beautiful little mushrooms. Adding those to the collection. All right, let's keep looking. Did you find anything? That's probably that squirrel we just saw. He's probably up that big old tree. Oh yeah, there he goes. Hello, squirrel. Probably can't see him. Look at all that Spanish moss though, isn't that cool? It's a nice shady spot. I think we might hydrate here. Bring you back in a bit. Smilex. So again, for those just learning, there's our leaf. And you can see the veins start at the base. Sorry again for my shaking hands. The base, and they run all the way up the tip. They don't branch outward. They branch from the base up to the tip. The leaves, edible. Older ones are a little tougher. The young ones are really soft. You'll tell the difference just by feel and by look, frankly. These are what you want, though. Tasty. Great trailside nibble. I've got a nice batch of mushrooms. Not sure if I'll find any more. I've got plenty. And I'm going to keep looking here, kind of make my way back to the car. And then I might go take some of those passion fruit. There's another location that has a ton of them. I might grab a few of those for dessert, but I'm thinking smilex, wild foraged mushrooms. I might stop by the local creek, see if I can't catch a fish. Might have a wild forage lunch. Anyway, I'm going to hydrate here, collect a few more of these. I'll see you back on the trail. All right, got a chance to hydrate. Little trailside snack of some smilex. Back to it. Stick to a trail less traveled. Man, I smell lemon boca. I don't know where it would be. I'm guessing it's off in the woods somewhere along the water's edge. I was just about to walk in there and check out a mushroom. But he's got the road blocked. So I'll just show you. Down on the root, see if you can see it. Whoops, sorry. That one is just coming out. Oh, there's one over there too. So for you medicinal mushroom lovers, that'd be a good find. Probably tomorrow or the next day. It's all right. For us, we'll leave that spider be. And we'll keep moving. Again, it's getting a little thick now. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Sounds like cicadas. But boy, they are singing today. Birds are singing. Nothing like a little rain just to bring out the joy of the woods, right? Everything seems to be happier after a little rain. The clouds have kind of moved on, and the sun has come out. A lot of the trail we've been in has got some spotty shade, so it's been hasn't been too bad. The back is feeling better. I was a little hesitant about putting a backpack, even though I've only got my small pack on. Again, I was bedridden just a few days ago, and I've been using the pool and the hot tub, trying to stretch it out and get it back to gear, get it back to normal. And I'd say it's pretty close. So I was a little hesitant about putting the backpack on it today. But so far it's doing pretty good. The first quarter mile maybe I wasn't so sure, because again I haven't been out, so the legs are a little weird and the back's a little ornery, but now that I've stretched it out, it seems to be doing very well. So I'm excited about that. It's I've missed being out in the woods. About hit me in the face there. Still finding a lot of greenbrier, a lot of smilex. I haven't seen any more of the passion fruit, but again, this trail, I don't find a lot of them on this trail. You've seen the red markers along the way. This is a well-managed trail. There's a group of volunteers that manage this, and it's not very heavily used. I mean, certainly I see people out here. There's equestrian trails connected to this, and that's actually what we came in on. And these trails are actually only for walking. The horses don't come up in here. But it's a great spot. We're really close to town, but you can get out here and you can hike around for a couple hours and see a couple people maybe. Sometimes none at all. Today I haven't encountered anybody. Well, that's not true. When we first got on the trail, there was a gal and her dog coming off. That was just by the parking lot. Since then, we haven't seen anybody. So that's been really nice. I do try to find the trails where, you know, that are less used. A lot of people, especially in the cities, they like to have the paved trails. They like, I don't know, they like that. I don't like that as much. Well, I don't like that at all, frankly. I like the road less traveled. Matter of fact, usually if I'm on one of these trails and I find an old logging road or just some old trail going off in the woods, I'm usually the guy that'll take off down it. So, and I prefer the trail less traveled. These are really well maintained. Technically, does are supposed to be on a leash. I do have a leash with I can't talk. Have a leash with me. He did go on it when the other person was nearby, but when I'm out here and there's nobody around, I let him run. It's good for him. It's good for his mind. He spends a lot of time at home. Again, I'm a working guy, so and right now I'm actually in training, so I get very limited hours to do this. That's why we haven't seen any videos coming out. I just haven't been out in the woods between the back and studying until 6, 7 o'clock in the evening. I'll be studying this afternoon, even on the weekend. But so it's good for him to get out, run around and sniff, maybe even chase a rabbit once in a while if we see one. He doesn't usually chase the wildlife, but once in a while I let him chase it just for a little ways. I don't let him catch him, but chasing him for a little ways. He doesn't chase him far even when I let him. A few different kinds of mushrooms out today. Those, I think technically, I can't remember, I ID'd those a while back on a video, and I thought I ID'd them as an edible, but they're kind of woody, and so I don't know that you'd want to eat them. But I think technically they are. That's the thing with wild mushrooms too, for those of you kind of still learning. Well, I guess we're all still learning, but those of you that are very new, there's a lot of difference between whether or not it's edible and whether or not you would want to eat it. So I have found some beautiful bolete mushrooms out here that I thought were something. Brought them home and ID'd them only to find out they weren't. One of the common ones that I found that have fooled me a couple times is the bitter boletes. Now the bitter boletes are edible. They're actually a beautiful mushroom. There's a couple different variations of them. The ones I've found out here are a bright white one. They're beautiful mushrooms. And technically, they are edible. But they are so bitter. There's no way, at least that I can eat them. And so, you know, again, there's a difference between whether or not it's edible and whether it's poisonous. And what I've found over the years is I don't encounter a lot of the poisonous varieties. Not in my hunting that I do. Again, I'm looking for very specific ones. I'm not trying to be the mushroom guru. I identify a few mushrooms that I can eat and that I enjoy, and I try to find those. And then, like that one we found earlier, I'll take a few pictures of it, take it home. Sometimes I'll take one home for a spore print, and I'll just try to ID them. So when you're out, always try to take pictures of one plant or one mushroom that you're not familiar with. Bring it home and ID it. And a lot of them won't be edible. They won't be of any use. But that's how you find the ones that are. And that's how you learn. So always challenge yourself when you're out hiking, biking, foraging. Try to bring pictures of one thing home or a sample of one thing and try to ID it. If you've got kids, man, it's a great thing to do with kids. You can teach them about respecting the woods. You can teach them about selective harvesting. You can teach them about identifying plants, about their uses. If you find the edible ones, you can teach them how to cook and prepare those foods. And I mean, let's face it, let's hope that none of our kids ever have to need those skills or use those skills. But as a parent of 5, I can tell you that it's a cool thing to teach them, even in hoping that they'll never use them. It's cool to know that they could if they needed to. So anyway, that's my wild foraging rant of the day. I guess it wasn't really a rant, but preamble, or I don't know what it is. Me blabbing on and on. We are almost back to the parking lot, so I'm going to go ahead and tune you guys out, and if I find anything along the way, I'll bring you back. Otherwise, we'll see you at the next spot. Getting hot, buddy? I hear ya. At least you got to go for a swim. Hey, look at here. Well, I'll be darned. Now, I did not expect to find that today. Look at here, guys. Some of you know exactly what that is. For those that don't, the trick to this one, if you look very carefully at the leaves, see the heart shape? And the little yellow flower. I've got a bug messing with me here. Right there. Come on, focus. There we go. Sorry about the shakes, guys. That is wood sorrel. You can tell how close I am to the parking lot. The car just went by. I didn't even realize I was that close to the road. But if you look here, they're just coming up. Wood sorrel is a wonderful wild edible. Oh. There they are. Come on, focus. And again, you're looking for that heart-shaped leaf. The little flower is a sure giveaway, but that heart-shaped leaf is undeniable. One of my all-time favorites. A little taste, just one leaf, will tell you right away it's wood sorrel. It's got a very lemon lime kind of flavor to it. The whole plant is edible. The flowers, the stems, the leaves. It's an absolute fabulous wild edible. It's really great as a side to your dishes. So, for example, today if we're going to do fish and mushrooms, yet to be determined, it's a really great addition to that as just a side. Mix it in with your smilex or your other wild greens that you found, and it'll just give it that extra little lemon lime flavor, and it's wonderful. So I might take a couple of these, a couple of the bigger ones, and then we'll get back on the trail. Again, close to the parking lot, so I'll see you in a bit. Quite a patch. No flowers for her to land on. Oh well, not today. You guys know my rule. Always take time to enjoy the butterflies. I was hoping she'd land and give us a close-up. A lot of Biden's elba along here. New stuff coming up. Not on the agenda for today, but I am out, so I am going to have to come get some. My tea supply is getting low, and I do use that in my teas. Also, sometimes I use it in a vegetable stock. Either way works well. And you can tell this trail that we're on is a little wider and not as well used. So we're actually on one of the equestrian trails now. And these run for miles back in here. I have never encountered a horseback rider in these trails. I've been back here quite a bit. I know they're here because occasionally I see the evidence of them, and I do see them in the parking lot unloading, but I've never actually encountered them out here on the trails, so, which has been kind of nice. Dozer won't bother the horses. He'll stay aside, and I just put them on a leash if they do get close. Not a big deal. But again, you get on these equestrian trails here, and it is quiet. I rarely see anybody out here. Matter of fact, on this trail, I don't know that I've ever seen anyone. You just can't find the right spot. Looking for flowers, but there's not much here. They do like those Biden alba flowers, but wasn't really much for that here. And what Dozer and I are looking for is a fishing hole we've been to once before. I don't think this is it here. I think we need to go further down. Yeah, no swimming here, bud. Ah, yes, here we go. It's been a while since I've been here. I believe this is it. Yeah, this looks right. Oh yeah, somebody's been here. Dang it. Oh well. To clean that up. Always pack your stuff out, right? Beautiful spot. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I can hear traffic off in the background. Not too bad. Doesn't bother me too much, but it's there. All right, I'm going to turn you off here and get situated. I'll bring you back in a minute. That one. I think that was a nice. Just one little area. one little area. Of course, a big chunk of that is an old fishing net, but man, those fishing nets are not a good thing to be just out in the wild. Animals can get caught up in them. If that blows into the water, it could be really dangerous. So we're getting it out of here. A lot of pop cans, beer bottles. I mean, anybody who spends time in the woods, you guys know what I'm talking about. The fishing wasn't that great. Matter of fact, I caught one little sunny and played around with some gars, but you know, it's mid-afternoon. It is brutally hot out here. The sun's blazing. I didn't expect much for fishing, but always worth a try. In the end, I ended up visiting with a Florida wildlife officer for a good 20 minutes. Learned a little bit about some of the edible plants in the area. Real interesting guy. A big shout out to our wildlife officers. They work hard, and that's a no respect gig. So I appreciate what they do. You know, when I'm out here, I'm abiding by the law. I've got my license with me. You know, just adhere to the rules, and you won't have any problems. And if you have a bag of garbage sitting around, that tends to help as well. So huge shout out to our wildlife guys. You do a hard job, and I appreciate everything you do. We are going to call it. He's getting hot, Dozer that is. We're going to pack up our garbage, and we're going to call it a day. So I didn't get my fish, so I'm not going to do my fish lunch. But I did get a great bag of mushrooms, and I'm going to make one more stop for a little check for some more mushrooms. If I find anything, I'll bring you back. But other than that, I think we're calling it a day. Thanks for coming along. And the next time I see you, Dozer and I will be out doing something wild.